The film Hellraiser.
Ah,
Tell me, do you know what the film is about?
this is the guy with the pins in his face.
Pinhead. Yes.
Okay, so I worked in a movie store when I was in high school,
Mhm.
and we had a lot of posters from Hellraiser in the back. I'm pretty sure that I know the plot to the whole movie.
So tell me what the plot is.
So there's a kid who grows up in a small town.
Okay.
His mom dies, okay? And then he goes to a smaller town to live with his aunt and uncle.
You're on the right track, but you're not.
And so I can't even get it out. So I'm
trying to figure out what plot you're giving me.
in my head, I'm very funny. So he's left his small town to go to an even smaller town.
Are you tearing up right now?
Because I'm laughing so hard. So he's living with his aunt and uncle in a progressively smaller town. And he...
It's like the Russian dolls of small towns.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So in his previous small town, he was a gymnast. A very, very good gymnast.
Okay.
So he gets to this other small town, and he wants to just blow off some steam because he's mad. Because his mom died. He's sad. You know how kids get. And...
This makes funny. This is funny to you. I don't know why.
Oh, I can't. I'm trying. Okay, so, I'm trying.
You're melting.
All right, so
You're having a meltdown.
So he this might be a bad night to do this. I feel too silly. So he wants to just blow off some steam and just dance.
As gymnasts do.
Just fucking...
Wait, where's the dancing come
just
from?
because he's a gymnast.
Is he a gymnast and also a dancer?
He's flexible. They do the ribbon dancing. It's a thing.
Okay.
So he just wants to just let it all go. And just...
let down his hair.
So he starts dancing. And the town preacher comes over.
Are we doing Footloose right now?
Shh, don't tell them. So the town preacher comes over and he's like, hey kid, that's illegal. You can't.
We don't allow dancing here since my wife died in a weird dancing accident.
Since some kids went out of town and they got drunk and they were dancing and raising hell.
Mm-hmm. As one does.
And they got in a car accident and they killed a family of bunnies and themselves.
Bunnies?
So then they... You know, he was just real upset. You know, his mom's died. He's got to live with his weird aunt who smells like milk. And...
I'm going to be chopping most of the laughter.
I know. It's probably for the best. So, he gets upset and he's like trying to pull all these kids together and they're going to dance in rebellion. They're part of the dance resistance. They're just pissed. And so then they reject him. They're like, no, man, you don't understand. These kids died. It was really serious. And so he gets just real discouraged and he turns blue because he's so sad. And then he shaves his head in protest. Nobody notices because they're all too busy reading their Bibles and stuff and not dancing. So then he is like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And he can't figure it out. So he paints his whole head white after he shaves it. Just white is it? The Dickens.
White as the Dickens.
White as the Dickens. And then his aunt is concerned, obviously, because he shaved his head and painted his face white. It's a weird thing to do. And he's like weirdly dancing like in sporadic weird bursts all over the place. It's strange. Everybody's concerned. So she takes him to the city, you know, like a Cleveland or like a Columbus, Ohio. This takes place in Ohio, by the way. So she takes him there and to a new wave healer. Because this takes place in the early 90s. So the new wave healer suggests to help him with his behavioral issues and some of his anger and frustration about his mother's death, acupuncture. So they only do it on his head and face though, in a weird pattern, and it helps. But he keeps the nickname Hellraiser because it reminds him of
Forgotten childhood.
Of his struggle and what all he had to do to get to where he is now. And then it fades to black, credits roll. That's the whole movie.
You couldn't be further away from the actual story.
Oh, shit, I tried so hard.